Mavericks 111-103. Probably wasn't really that close a ball game. Jazz trailed by a little early, but the story of the game, two parts of it. One, just simply make or miss. Dallas made their shots. The Jazz did not. Part two, why didn't the Jazz make their shots? Was it the shots they were getting, the shots Dallas was forcing, or just one of those nights where the shots don't fall in a make or miss league? We'll break it all down. The Jazz fall to the Dallas Mavericks. There's a little make or miss. There's a little bit more to it than that as well. We'll talk about all of it. Coming up on POSTCAST is the Jazz fall to the Mavericks 111-103. POSTCAST is brought to you by Grip 6 Belts. I have the carbon fiber belt on today. I think it's bad if I on video, like I'm taking off my belt and showing it to you, but I just think it's in bad taste. But I would show it to you. Go to grip6.com. Check out the promo code LOCKDOWN. Get 15% off. It'll be the favorite belt you've ever had. Also brought to you by our local Utah company, Biograss, which brings you the Big Yellow Bag and BigYellowBag.com. Check it out. Get $40 off a cubic bag. Go to BigYellowBag.com for the great garden, great outdoors weekend this weekend. Jazz fall to the Mavericks. Let's get a few things set here early on this. Dallas is really good. Dallas might be 27-21, but that's an inaccurate number. Dallas started the year with injuries, no Porzingis. They were kind of a mess. Then they got struck by COVID. And then actually they got a snowstorm that hit and shut them down for 5 days. And they actually went and kind of had a 4-day training camp with everyone healthy and everybody out of COVID. And they've now won 7 straight, 12 of 14, and 18 of 22 when Luka plays. And Luka might be the MVP of the NBA. If it's not Dame, if it's not Jokic, if it's not like it's a bunch of guys. But they've won 7 straight, 12 of 15, and 18 of 22 when Luka plays. And he's averaged 30 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. He's just great. He's big. He's mammoth. He can get anywhere he wants. He plays his own speed. He conducts every possession. We had no chance against him, and they torched our defense tonight. So the first part of this was not a good defensive night. Our approach on Luka has been to cover the rim with Rudy, have somebody else guard out there, so it's Bogdanovich or Royce or Joe. Dorian Finney-Smith space to the corner. Rudy guards the middle and then closes out. And tonight, Dorian Finney-Smith buried, I think the final number was 5 threes on 12 attempts. That helped them early loosen everything up. That's the key early part of this game is they're driving. Luka's getting the lane. He's running into Rudy. The Jazz are actually doing a really good job. Luka wants to go left. He's going to step back. If he goes right, he's going to drive to the rim. He's going right to the rim. He's running into Rudy. He's swinging the ball, and they're knocking down shots. Right? Like at some point, this is where it gets to be you're doing everything right. Or not everything right, but you're doing what you can against a really, really good team. And they go 5 of 12 in the first quarter from 3. In the second quarter, they end up going 9 of 23, so they weren't crazy hot. In the third quarter, they go bananas. And you're in the game for a little bit of that. Simultaneously, we're not making anything. To their credit, they're hugging the shooters. There's one play is kind of demonstratively to me everything in this where Joe Ingles drives the lane, jumps up to make a pass. They're on Rudy. They're on the shooters. He has nowhere to throw the ball, and he just throws it to one of the Dallas players because they're hugging the shooters. So they hug the shooters, takes away our catch-and-shoot game for a long time. Now we're taking only off-the-bounce threes, and only Mike Conley's making them. The one guy that was open on our side, what they were doing is we were driving the lane. If you go back and watch that play with Joe, we're driving the lane. They suck a third guy in the lane to take away the pick and roll. The one guy that's wide open is Royce O'Neal. He's their version of Dorian Finney-Smith. Rick Carlisle's like, I'm not letting Bojan drop 31 on me again. I'm not letting Clarkson drop 29 on me again. And he makes Royce O'Neal, and Royce goes 0 for 8. Here's one disconcerting note on this. In Royce O'Neal's career, he has shot 41% in the first half of seasons and 32% in the second half of seasons. And that's right where he is right now again. If he can't make shots, we're in trouble. Like, let's not kid ourselves. I don't want to put too much on Royce, but he's our one defensive wing defender, And if he can't make shots, they're going to leave him open every game. He's going to have to make shots. And if he doesn't make the shots because his legs are dead, because he's been asked to guard the number one defender for the entire season, that's problematic. Because that'll be the defense that we just saw tonight from Dallas against everyone. And our defensive rating after the first quarter was okay, 111. Second quarter is a 94. By the end of the third quarter is 100. You'll never win a game like that. Now, Royce isn't going 0 for 8. Donovan, by the end of three quarters, was 4 of 18 or something crazy. We're not doing that very often either. Okay, so that's where this is a make or miss league. Donovan's not going 0 for 6. Royce is not going 0 for 7. That's not happening very often. But Dallas hammered us tonight. Give it to them. Give them credit. They're good. There are 7 really good teams in the Western Conference. Would I be stunned if Dallas played the Clippers and beat them in the first round of the playoffs? No. Would I be stunned that Portland plays 3-seed Denver and beats them in the first round of the playoffs? Maybe, but not really. And this is why the 1 seed matters so much. By the way, we're 38-12. Just thought I'd point that out. So now that we overanalyze this game, and then one other note. We're going to have a bunch of duds between now and the end of the season. We're playing too many games. The league's truncated it because of COVID. We're playing every night or every other night or plane travel. It's not a day off anywhere. If the Jazz fly tonight, they'll actually, which I don't think they do, they'll have their first, they might though because it's an early game. They'll actually have a day of doing nothing tomorrow for the first time in ever. So there's a little bit of we're just going to have teams all across the league putting up duds with a regularity in the final 25 games this season. That's why you should always take the first 20 games that matter more. Weston Porter, Doncic is a Hall of Fame level whiner. He's a Hall of Fame level something, I'll tell you that. He's a Hall of Fame level player. He might be the best player in the league right now. Think about that. He's 21, 22? He might be the best player in the league. Was it Donovan's shot selection, decision maker, or just missed shots? I'll go back and watch it. I would largely say he just missed shots tonight. He did take his regular mid-range shots. They were playing off the bounce a little bit more than usual. But I don't think I don't think that's a I think Donovan just had it off. I mean, here's the thing about Donovan. Donovan finished the night 0 for 8 from 3, right? Is that right? 0 for 8. So now Donovan is 32 of his last 59 from 3. 53%. You're not going to make 60% of your threes. At some point, this goes the other way. Donovan poor shooting at away games a real thing or an aberration? I'm unaware of it. I didn't notice it in my prep today. Certain players get more comfortable in different places. Donovan, the only thing I would tell, I don't know if this is true, but Donovan on the road, I don't know this anymore because we don't travel. Donovan on the road used to go shoot every night on the road. He used to go find a gym every night and shoot, and he can't do that probably now would be my guess, or he's limited in being able to do that. So maybe it's blown up his routine. That would be my only question if that's true. Reports that Royce was demonstrably upset walking off the court. I would hope Royce was demonstrably upset walking off the court. Guys, got to show emotion. That's good. I'm glad. That's super. Question I would have is how the team responds against the Suns despite the loss. I thought tonight was a much better matchup than the Suns. The Suns are a tough matchup for us. So I think that's going to be a hard one for us. Dallas had to hit all those threes to win. Yes. At one point it was a 6-point game. We're shooting 25% from 3. They're shooting 50% from 3. That's a little bit of what we've created here. But give Dallas credit and realize how good Dallas is. I guess that's my point. And really well coached. The sign to me of how well coached they were was the Jazz would get offensive rebounds, look to throw their kick out for dagger threes that we've gotten so used to seeing, and they'd have guys hugged on the outside, on the guys on the outside. And yet they still had 2 guys on the rebounder, so somebody had to be open. Hard to win every night, no big deal as long as we play Wednesday and Thursday. Yeah, that's tough, right? This is another example. We got 3 games in 4 nights. It's just endless right now. Mavericks defense for the first 3 quarters was impressive. You know, it has been for a while. They held New York down. I think over the last 2 weeks, they're like if you listen to Locked On Jazz today, they're like the 5th best defensive team in the league. They're pretty good. Ron Boone, you want to say goodbye to people? So long, everyone. Ron Boone says so long. I say so long. Wednesday. See you guys.